Hey everyone, Mr. Clutch here. Glad to be back on these videos. It's been a while. It's the dog days of summer. It's late July, and so I've been doing a lot of normal summer stuff with parenting and family and whatever else. So looking forward to daughter getting back in school into August and getting back into a routine. Um, anyways, I had a few minutes here, so I wanted to make a video, look at today's action on SPY. So let's get right in. We're gonna make our zones first. If you're new to our videos, I'm making these zones just like Casey would make them in the Team 2 Discord. This is his methodology. So what we're doing, and so I'll probably butcher it a little bit. I'm not near as good at doing this as him. He's got a definite knack for it. But we're going to take our previous high day wick and draw a zone down to the next candle body. We're going to do the same for our low. So it'd be one right there. And then, you could put a line through here. I just see a level here. Like you see this where we kind of stalled out late in the day, and it coincide with our pre-market high. So I'm just going to put a line there, just kind of know that's there. If we go back further, we've got a zone that's a little bit lower. You could draw down here in case we drop, because we're going to assume we don't know what's going on right now. So I might even put it kind of like right there and then up to that, just to like kind of fits in that post-market low and then where we were at there. And then we'd have to go back higher. This kind of matches up with our zone, so I'm going to leave that one alone. We'll go back up to this high up here, and we'll build that out there as well. So there's our next high zone. So we'll switch back to the 2 minute, and we will go. So this is what we'll be looking at coming into the day right here. We'd have our chart up, we'd have our zones, and we say, okay, so let me go ahead and clean up my EMAs here as well. We'll just leave our 13, 48, and 200 on. So we open up kind of in between two zones here. So we're kind of just watching, letting this chop through. Our EMAs are, changing directions here. And we fight back through them off the open. This is all chop. Look, we hit our heads in the zone. We really want to see this clear or clear breakdown and movement before we start looking for a position here. So as we get into this mid to late morning area, it kind of chops back and reclaims. So you might be looking at this move off the bat here, and I could see you entering here. Maybe you get your stop down here as the 48. Let's see how far that is. Yeah, it's not 50 cents or so. So you kind of let that chop out, and then you lose it again. So you might be getting chopped up a little here. This is about a 20-minute move, but you might still be in depending on what contracts you're playing, where your stop loss is at. But what I really like is once this is created, now these are the moves I show a lot. But let's draw this line now, and see after this happens and we come back here, I've got this line drawn, and then we tap it again, and then this is our flag we want to take. So as soon as this is breaking the 13 and coming out here, I think this is a good move to enter on. And ride that up, and it almost makes it to the zone there. That's a nice move. You're trailing that, you're making profits. Big red candle here that comes back down, and we fight our way back up again. But here we go again. We're kind of building out the same thing. I like something like that, just kind of drawing out with these wicks. Then it wicks in here again, and almost looks the same as this. It like fights up one more time to it, does a nice little flag and breaks out. So you can get in here, low risk here, because if you get back under here and you've got your 48 trailing you pretty close, you can stop out and move on. But then you get a nice move up there. So I like that move there to end the day, and then you're not really playing any of this as you get back under. You could look at that right there if you want. As you get back under the zone, it kind of rejects into the zone, and then is breaking down underneath your EMA. So I could see you entering somewhere here because you've got room down. I mean, you've got a nice little move down on your to the 200, and then our zone much lower. So you could get in that, and if you held, and it may even caught this wick all the way down, or towards the end of the day, kind of ridden that down. But even just a quick, you get in here and it comes down here and you're trailing, you should hit something too. So There was a couple nice moves on SPY today, and I don't think there was a ton of areas to get super faked out. Like it's easy to start getting into this and trying to play stuff here, but there's nothing here. Like just remember that. I mean, maybe you played a steep play here. I could actually see that. I don't like these steep trend lines. I like to let the second point kind of build out a lot of times. So it'd be like here, and even then you've kind of just got like a, maybe you're trying to get in that out of the. I guess you could enter here and get stopped out. That could be a place I could see it, but still, as you're kind of chopping in here, I would want to see this high point clear, get out of the zone. Let's close above it, or draw out something like this, where it's, you're taking a shot at the bottom with EMAs tight, and trying to catch that move up. If you're willing to, risk to find out, whatever your risk may be, you can get in over here. So, yeah, let it clear your zones or reject your zones before you find out. We'll take a quick look at Qs. Let me just draw a few zones here quickly just to see where we're at. So we'd have our high of the day yesterday right here. We had our low of the day right down here. And then we had our high of the previous day right here. I'd do something like that. And then we could go on, but we aren't going to need the one above. So let's just look at that action between the lines today. So we kind of open right below the zone, and we might be looking for this to leak down because we're under the 200. So at this point, I'll show you. So what we might be thinking here is, hey, let's flip these EMAs. Here comes the 13 down below. Let's get them straight out. Let's flag back and then take it down to this zone. But it quickly reclaims out of the open our EMAs and gets above our zone there. So one thing I'm watching out of the gate here is, again, we come down, up, drop off fast. I've got this trend line built out right now. And these are my favorite plays when it comes down. You're just watching this the rest of the way. It holds kind of your zone. It holds the 200. It reclaims the EMAs. And look where it breaks out of the trend line. Right there. Enter there. Ride that up. And even if you're holding it back, you might make it all the way to the zone, but you probably are taking profit somewhere on this pullback and getting out. So that was a really smooth move there. I really like that one. Same thing here. I'm not playing the immediate bounce back. This is chopping. Let me play the second point. Now here you might have got faked out, but here's a little bit of saving grace here. As this gets up here and closes, it looks on the small. I'm so far extended here. I don't like entering on those. I like entering really close. So if you redraw this and then this just barely starts pushing up here, this is my entry right here. So that's a good spot to get in and catch a big move there. And then we're like, okay, now we're rejecting here. Let's let it go. I don't see anything else set up really the rest of the day. So hopefully you caught the good one. And even if you did get stopped out here, you're redrawing that line and you're trying to get in here, and then that move should be much bigger than the small percentage you're stopped out on. So anyways, hopefully that's helpful, and I'll hope to try to do more of these. It might be sporadic the rest of the summer. I've got another trip planned. I'm leaving out at the end of the week. I've spent some time in the mountains, so but I'll keep doing these when I can, and then once we get back into the school year and into August, I'll try to get back more regularly. So with that said, hope everyone has a good evening, and we'll see you back tomorrow.